Hey baddies, welcome back to the channel. Today we are sharing a brand story formula that you can take and use right now to share your own personal branding story and create more audience loyalty, retention, and connection with your community. If you don't know about the power of storytelling, I'm so glad you're here. Storytelling is a massive part of marketing and personal branding, and if you're not sharing stories, you're missing out on such a huge piece of loyalty building and connection. I want you to think about when you were younger and you were a child. Almost all the time you were taught things in a story form because people are 22 times more likely to remember something that's told in a story rather than something that's bullet point. And when we become adults, I don't know why that isn't transferred, but if we were to even share stories about ourselves or share trainings, people are more likely to retain that information, and they're more likely to see you as an authority and connect with you on a much deeper level with the power of storytelling. In my personal branding course, Stickers, we cover storytelling heavily and in depth, how you can incorporate it more into your business, why it's so important, along with everything else that you need to develop a really profitable personal brand. The link is down below. If you want to get yourself into Stickers right now, you can start going through all of that information and developing your profitable personal brand now. But today we're going to cover a brand story formula that you can take one of your unique experiences and implement it right now, and you're gonna see a remarkable difference in your content and the way that people connect with you. So before we get into the formula, I wanted to touch on a few things that are gonna make your story extra spicy. Us as humans, we love suspense. We love to be like on the edge of our seat, like what is about to happen? Oh my gosh. That's why a lot of people like scary movies. I'm not a scary movie kind of gal, but when I do see a post that says something like, I almost fell off a cliff and lost my life, I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Or even if you're scrolling through TikTok and you see a video that says like, this is the number one thing or the number one reason why you're not making money, you're like, that is suspenseful. I need to know right now what is not making me money. And we need to utilize that within our stories. We also should have detailed imagery of what's happening within the specific moment that you're talking about. So detailed imagery is a massive game changer from just like, oh, I was sitting in a coffee shop and then I got my first client. You can talk about what the coffee shop smelled like, and you can talk about the emotions that you were feeling once you got that first client notification and how overwhelmed with joy you were, and it's just gonna completely change the story when you go into more details on what was happening, who was around you, what you were feeling. We also wanna have a structure that's really easy to follow, because have you ever been listening to a story and you're like, where is this going? We wanna make sure that there's a very clear A, B, and C, like start, middle, end, that we all learned in English class when we were in grade school and in high school. So this is the formula that I'm gonna give to you today. Yay! So the first thing that I want you to do within this brand story is to create some suspense and have an information gap. Like we were talking about earlier, suspense is really key when we're writing a story, because we want people to actually stop the scroll and we want people to be like, wait, what did they just say? So suspense could be like, I almost fell off a cliff, whatever that is. I'll tell my story along with this formula so you can see how I created it. My information gap would be that I quit my full-time job with no leads, no sales, no savings, and I moved across the country. People would be like, I missed a chapter. What? Like, why would you do that? Like, that is so stupid. Like, something that I would never recommend for somebody to do all the time. But we want to have suspense and an information gap. Then the next thing we want to do is we want to fill in the blanks with a little bit of context. So if I was to say I quit my full-time job with no leads, no sales, no savings, then I would fill in the blanks of how I was working at a radio station and how the management was horrible. I felt like my creativity was stifled, and I just had this dream of working for myself and this like unwavering knowing that this was meant for me. And then the next step would be explain the emotions that you were feeling in that moment. Maybe I would explain the emotions that I felt when I was quitting my job. I was shaking, I was hyperventilating, I was sweating, knees weak, arms are heavy, there's vomit on a sweater already, mom's spaghetti. Something like that, where you're going through the emotions of what you were feeling in that specific moment, or even the emotions that I was feeling when I was driving across the country and I just quit my job and it was just like this exciting new change that I knew wholeheartedly was meant for me. Then what was the problem that I endured? Maybe the problem after I quit my job was that I literally had no leads, no sales, no savings, literally nothing. How the hell was I gonna make this work for myself? The next thing, what was the catalyst for your transformation? The catalyst for my transformation would have been I had full and complete blind belief in myself that I was gonna make it work and that this was meant for me. And so I just worked 3 part-time jobs. I worked building my business and I grinded my ass off in order to make it happen. How did you transform and overcome is the second to last step. So the transformation for me would have been that I signed a bunch of clients, like I've transformed tons of people's businesses. I've helped people make upwards of $20,000 a month. I've made up to upwards of $25,000 a month myself. I've helped people become personal brands, become confident with themselves, build businesses of my own that were absolute dreams, so on and so forth. My life has completely changed since I quit my full-time job in September of 2018. If you want to pitch at the end of this story or even just share on how you can help other people transform, that is the last step. How can you help other people transform? Maybe you have unique experiences that help you become the best person that you can be, or help other people become the best people that they can be as well, or directing them to a specific program that makes sense with that story that you were just telling. So to run over the formula once again, you're gonna have suspense and an information gap. You're gonna fill in the blanks with context, explain the emotion that you were feeling in that moment. What was the problem that you endured? What was the catalyst for your transformation? How did you transform and overcome? And how can you help other people transform? Ta-da! If you use this formula, I would love to see your posts, whether it's in video form on TikTok, written form, or video form on Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you are, please tag me and I would love to read the posts that you create because I absolutely love to read people's stories and how they transformed and overcame what they were going through, and just makes me the happiest. So tag me on Instagram at Julia Piccoli Coaching. Like this video. I just gave you an entire formula for you to write the best story ever. So please hit the like button and also subscribe to post notifications. And I am so grateful for you being here as well and watching this video. And I can't wait for you to create this brand story and create so much more audience loyalty and connection with your audience, of course. And if you're wanting to get into Stickers, which is my personal branding course, and learn so much more about storytelling and building your profitable personal brand, the link is in the description below. Thank you so much for being here. Again, I'm so grateful for you, and I will chat with you very soon. Bye. Peace.